The rabbi and his only son. There was once a rabbi who had no children. After a time, he had an only son whom he raised and married off. The son would sit in his room in the upper deck of the house and study, as was the custom for men. He would constantly learn and pray. However, he felt deep inside that he was lacking something, but he did not know what. He did not feel enthusiasm in his learning and in his prayer. He explained that to his two friends, and they advised him to travel to a certain tzaddik. This son had once done a good deed, for which he merited an aspect of the smaller light. The only son went and told his father that since, as he did not feel any inspiration in his learning, and felt a lack, yet did not know why, therefore he wanted to travel to this tzaddik. His father answered him, "What? You want to travel to him? You are certainly more learned than he, and of better lineage. It is not fitting for you to travel to him. Give up the idea." He finally dissuaded him from going, and the son returned to his learning, but again felt a lack. He conferred again with the above-mentioned friends, and they advised him as before to travel to the tzaddik. So he again approached his father, and his father dissuaded him from going as before. This happened several times. The son felt this lacking, and he longed powerfully to fill the lack, yet did not know what it was. He came again, approached his father, and pleaded with him until his father was compelled to take him, for he did not want to let him travel alone, being that he was his only son. His father said, "All right, I will go with you, and I will show you that he is nothing special." They prepared a carriage and set off. His father said, "I will set up a test. If things proceed normally, it is decreed from heaven that you should go. If not, then it is not from heaven, and we will turn back." They traveled and came to a small bridge. One of the horses fell, and the carriage overturned, and they were nearly drowned. His father said, "You see, things are not proceeding normally, so the trip is not ordained from heaven," and so they returned. The son returned to his studies, but again he saw the lacking that he could not explain. So again he pleaded with his father, and his father agreed to travel with him a second time. When they went, the father again set up the test as he had the first time. As they were traveling, both axles of the carriage broke. His father said, "You see, it isn't working out for us to make the trip. For could this be natural that both axles should break?" They had traveled many times in this carriage, and the likes of this had never happened. So the son returned to his routine, but again felt the lack. And his friends again advised him to go. He again pleaded with his father, who he was obliged to travel with him again. The son asked that they not set up this test again, for it is natural that sometimes a horse falls or axles break. Only a truly unusual occurrence would be seen as a sign. They set out and came to an inn where they found a trader. They started to converse with him in the manner of traders. They did not reveal to him their destination, for the rabbi was embarrassed to reveal that they were visiting that tzaddik. They spoke about worldly matters until the conversation turned to stories of tzaddikim and where they are located. He began to recount, "In such a place is a tzaddik, in another place and another," and so on, until they started to speak about the tzaddik to whom they were traveling. The trader then said to them, "Him? He is not one to consider seriously. I just came from his place. I was there, and I saw him commit a sin." So the father said to his son, "You see, the trader told us this in his innocence, and he just came from there." With that, they returned home. The son soon passed away and came in a dream to the rabbi, his father. His father saw that he was very angry and asked him, "Why are you so angry?" He answered that he should travel to that same tzaddik to whom they had tried to travel before, and that he will tell you why I am so angry. He then awoke and said to himself, "It was only a dream." Then he dreamed the dream again, and again he assumed it was an insignificant dream. He dreamed it yet a third time, and now he realized there was meaning to it, and so he went. Along the way, he met the trader. He recognized him and said, "Are you the same trader that I met at the inn?" And he answered, "Certainly you saw me." Then he opened his mouth and said, "If you like, I will swallow you." The father asked, "What are you saying?" He answered, "Do you remember When you and your son were traveling, first the horse fell on the bridge and you turned back. The second time, the two axles broke. And the third time you met me, and I said that he, the tzaddik, is not worthy of consideration. Now that I have ended your son's life, now you may travel there, for your son was the aspect of the smaller light, and that tzaddik was the aspect of the greater light. If they had met, it would have brought the Messiah. Now that I have done away with your son, you may travel there. As he was speaking, he disappeared, and the father was left all alone. The rabbi then traveled to the tzaddik and cried, "Alas, alas, to those who are lost and can no longer be found. The Lord should return our exile speedily. Amen."